USA Cup. They were the center of attention in an Olympic-style opening ceremony last night in Blaine, lighting the flame to kick off the tournament. The team is the first from China ever to compete in the Cup, and for many of the players, it is their first trip to the U.S.
Their journey got started thanks to a Minnesota man who played in the tournament as a kid, is now returning as a coach. And as KRL11's Jeffrey DeMars shows us tonight, Donnie Mark has found that the road to China goes both ways.
Either way you want, it'll work.
It's called the world sport.
Good finish, Hosu. What do we have right now? We got 12 guys here, and it's like 9 or 10 different nationalities.
In large part because nearly anybody can play it nearly anywhere.
Are you ready, Eddie?
This week, the city of Blaine is the host to hundreds of teams from all over the world.
East, west, north, south, south.
But none of them may be more international
QiLin FC
than the QiLin team from Shanghai, China.
So we've got a Liechtenstein kid, there's Dutch kid, English kid, Irish kid, Austrian, Indonesian. We have a South African kid coming in later, Japanese, Korean, Hong Kong, Canadian. So it's a really good mix. And one kid from Pittsburgh.
And a coach from Minnesota.
There you go, a walking win.
Donnie Mark grew up in Minnetonka and has lived in Shanghai for the past 5 years. The retired professional soccer player now coaches the under-17 boys team from Shanghai.
They don't have any grass and poo sheet. They're not used to playing on this stuff.
The team gets ready for the big game on a field built in the backyard of the family's Maple Plain home. Dad built the goal using 2x4s.
I was telling the Liechtenstein kid before, I said, because I said, Coach, where are we going to train? I said, well, we're going to train at my house. I said, what do you mean we're going to train at the house? I said, we've got a field in the backyard. He said, no, Coach, you don't have a field in the backyard. There's no way you have a field in the backyard. I said, yeah, we've got a field. Coach, I don't know when you're lying to me. I just learned English. I don't know. So he shows up, and then we've got the field here. It's great. They love it.
Part of the disbelief is that there isn't a lot of green space in Shanghai. The kids live in a city with 22 million other people.
Yeah, I like the countryside. It's really nice. And it's not so humid as in Shanghai. And the house is great here.
The house and yard both spacious.
Can I say something to my parents?
And for the next week, a home away from home for a dozen teenagers.
Thanks for bringing me up to here.
Don't let it stop, Tom. Don't let the ball die. Don't let the ball die.
The Mark family says they wouldn't have it any other way. They hosted teams for the big tournament in Blaine when Donnie was younger.
I'm trying to get them looks at by colleges. So, because a lot of them are pretty good. There's some pretty good players in there.
Now that he's coach, the international game comes full circle for a kid from Minnetonka. Jeffrey DeMars, KRL11 News.
The team played its first game in the Schwann's USA Cup this morning. They took on a team from Rockford, Michigan. Rockford scored the first 2 goals, and then the group from China got on the scoreboard, making it 2-1. But the Rockford team went on to score 3 more goals, eventually winning the game 5-1. Donnie's team plays again tomorrow afternoon.
Within the next couple of weeks, several Minnesota athletes will be traveling the road to China to compete in the 2008 Summer Olympics. KRL11's Eric Perkins and photojournalist John Drilling will be there to bring you complete coverage from the games. If you or anyone you know is traveling to Beijing to watch the Olympics, we'd love to hear from you. Log on to KRL11.com and click on Road to China. While you're there, be sure to check out all of our Summer Games coverage. Now here's what's coming up Thursday night in the